The Western world used to trade among themselves freely, but no more. And now allies are becoming rivals because Donald Trump has just imposed a 25% tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and 10% tariff on imports from China. According to President Trump, he is doing this to protect the U.S. jobs and industries.
Perhaps hundreds of trillions of dollars of assets that we need to manage smartly, sustainably, for the benefit and the use of the American people.
Mr. President, is there anything China, Canada, and Mexico can do tonight to forestall your implementation of tariffs tomorrow?
No, nothing. Not right now, no.
Not a negotiating tool?
No, it's not. No, it's a pure economic. We have big deficits with, as you know, with all three of them. And in one case, they're sending massive amounts of fentanyl, killing hundreds of thousands of people a year with the fentanyl. And in the other two cases, they're making it possible for this poison to get in, number one. And number two, we have big deficits, and it's something we're doing. And we'll possibly very substantially increase it. We're not. We'll see how it is. But it's a lot of money coming to the United States. As you know, we have about a $200 billion deficit with Canada, getting close to $200 billion. They've treated us very unfairly. And I say, why should we be subsidizing Canada? It's wonderful. I have so many friends in Canada. It's a great place.
Is there a concession you're looking for, sir?
No, we're not looking for a concession. And we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. And with Mexico, it's the same thing. We have a $250 billion deficit, and we have a lot of people coming into the border, and now we've largely stopped that, but we've stopped that ourselves. I think they've done a fantastic job. You've seen the numbers, they've dropped to almost zero. But we've suffered under the past administration for years and years. We've suffered with millions of criminals coming into our country. Criminals, people from jails from all over the world. They come through Mexico, and they come through Canada too. A lot of them come through Canada, and a lot of fentanyl comes through Canada, and China makes the fentanyl. China makes the fentanyl, gives it to Mexico, puts it through Canada, puts it through different places, mostly Mexico, but also a lot through Canada. And so all three haven't treated us very well. Because I'm sure you didn't hear, am I going to impose tariffs on the European Union? Do you want the truthful answer, or should I give you a political answer? Absolutely. Tariffs, the word tariff is a very misunderstood word. You've heard me say, I say it kiddingly, but it's one of the most beautiful words in the dictionary, it really is. And we've been taken advantage of because others have charged us VATs. As an example, the European Union charges us 20% plus a VAT tax, called a VAT tax, very similar. And it costs us an absolute fortune. We are treated so badly. They don't take our cars. They don't take our farm products, essentially. They don't take almost anything. And we have a tremendous deficit with the European Union, so we'll be doing something very substantial.
But these countries have also hit back harder.
Today, the United States informed us they will be imposing 25% tariffs on Canadian exports to the United States and 10% on Canadian energy. A decision that, should they elect to proceed with, should take effect on Tuesday, February 4th. First, I want to speak directly to Americans, our closest friends and neighbors. This is a choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people. As I have consistently said, tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities. They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery stores and gas at the pump. Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. This will include immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods as of Tuesday, followed by further tariffs on $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days' time to allow Canadian companies and supply chains to seek to find alternatives.
And here's the twist. While the West is fighting, Africa is uniting. Thanks to the almighty African Continental Free Trade Area, or AfCFTA, which comprises 54 countries on the beautiful African continent with 1.3 billion people and zero trade taxes. Yes, I mean zero trade taxes. So just imagine Ghanaian chocolate being sold in South Africa tariff-free and Kenya's tea being sold in Egypt tax-free. This is not a dream, it is a reality. Let's listen to Wamkele Maini, the boss of the AfCFTA.
Of course, we must admit that we have come late in the delivery of what our founding mothers and fathers expected in May 1963. However, let me share with you some of the achievements that we have recorded since we have been established here in Ghana since 2020. And we've recorded these achievements pursuant to the founding principles, the treaty obligations that established the Organization of African Unity. They said we must establish a single payment system for the African continent. Today, as we speak, along with AfCFTA, we have established the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, which enables payment in local currency. I live in Ghana. When I travel to Kenya, there's a direct flight. But if I want to make a payment before the AfCFTA, I transfer money to my counterparty in Kenya. It goes via London, New York, or another part of the world. As it is with air travel, there is no reason why money cannot flow intra-Africa direct. And so we are very proud that the heads of states established and endorsed the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System as a tool to boost intra-Africa trade and as a tool to reduce the cost of trade in Africa. Second, responding to the challenge of our founding mothers and fathers, we established the AfCFTA Adjustment Fund because they said to us, as far back as May 1963, that we must overcome the industrial differentials, the economic differentials in Africa, and we must mobilize resources to make sure that there is equality of benefits in trade in Africa. 1963. Today we have established the AfCFTA Adjustment Fund. We have mobilized $1 billion. We want to mobilize up to $10 billion, or even more. Again, to respond to this very specific challenge of economic differentials in Africa and equality of benefits from trade. So I'm most grateful to our partners for this fund. It will enable all Africans, private sector, public sector, to benefit for this fund, investing in industrial development of Africa, investing in manufacturing capabilities in Africa. Third, our founding mothers and fathers said, traversing our borders is a challenge. We must develop tools to make sure that when we traverse, the leader of Parliament correctly pointed to the artificial borders. As we traverse these artificial borders, the cost to our businesses increases with every border that you cross. So again, we have said as the AfCFTA, we must reduce and eliminate this cost to our private sector. And so this year we are launching the AfCFTA Transit Guarantee Scheme, which will enable our trucks that move along the Abidjan-Lagos corridor to deposit one guarantee scheme to move across, even when they are moving from the ECOWAS region to another region, they will be subject to only one cost for transit guarantee. Let me close by making this statement. We are particularly proud of the leadership of the Assembly of Heads of States and Government, because as the African continent, we have delivered the first of its kind in the world, the Protocol on Digital Trade, which doesn't exist anywhere else. It ensures that we have digital inclusion, financial inclusion, inclusion of small, medium enterprises that are led by women and young people, so that all of us will benefit from Africa's digital economy, which is projected by the International Finance Corporation to reach $720 billion by the year 2035, the turn of the century. So the Protocol on Digital Trade enables all of us to benefit from this economy of 3.4 trillion United States dollars as we speak. It includes payments, digital payments, transfer of data, mobility of our companies, digital companies. This is a very, very positive step forward, and again, in response to the challenge that our founding mothers and fathers presented to us. So, Your Excellencies, our heads of states, I say this because of the theme that we chose, and I believe that I must present to you a very brief record of what we have done since we have been established here in Ghana, pursuant to the theme that we have chosen today of achieving a single market on the African continent. I believe that in 20 to 30 years' time, indeed, our continent will be the most globally competitive region in the world, most dynamic, with the youngest population, and incredibly innovative.
I love this man very much, a very hard-working gentleman. But I think this time around, he should make things as quick as possible. Because this time, Africa is not waiting. With the West distracted, we are putting things in place to be the next factory of the world. This trade war teaches us that no one wins alone, but Africans betting on teamwork. For once, the continent holds the cards. Will the world finally pay attention? Let us know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. But Africa isn't waiting. I'm Sheriff Haruna. Thank you very much for watching. Have a joyful life and see you in the next one. Macrao.